All right, so a bunch of our fans out there, they typed in and they wanted to know a visual. They want a visual of the say it with me, anti-detonation injection system. All right. So I'm going to give it to you. Take it away.
Well, they want a visual of it. If we could take the airplane apart, we're not going to take the airplane apart for this. You can come back if we do take the airplane apart. But it's right back here where the carburetor is, and the tank is right in front of the windscreen right back there. And it holds 14 gallons of water and methanol 50-50 mix. So we mix that up, we pump it in there. It's a pump, a switch, a gauge that shows how much pressure, and then when you come up on the power enough, it takes away 20% of the fuel, which leans out the mixture of fuel and adds this water in with the fuel, and that cools the cylinders as the fuel burns. So during combustion, you get horsepower and you get cooling on the cylinders via water, not fuel. All airplane engines, especially air-cooled engines, run too rich because they want to cool the engine with fuel in the worst case situation, which is low speed. So an air-cooled engine needs air that goes in right between here. It comes right in front of the cylinders. There's a high pressure area right here, and all that air is forced through these fins, and then there's a low pressure area here, and it's essentially sucked out right here where the exhaust stacks are. And so we run all this extra fuel to keep these cylinders cool. So all that fuel inside here is keeping all this cool normally. We take that fuel away, it makes a bunch more power. So like I said yesterday, it goes from say 1,400 horsepower up to 1,700 horsepower. That's a lot, and it's a real easy system and a neat way to add power where normally you'd have to do all kinds of internal engine mods or put the engine in jeopardy really to do that. Is there anything else? What else do you want to know about? Want to talk about lift?
No, I think we're good on that. Wow, I really hope there's not a test on that. There's not a test, right?
No, there's no test.
Oh, okay.
Come on out, take a look at the airplane, yell for me, and I'll come out, I'll introduce myself, and we could talk air racing.
Great. Will Whiteside, thank you.
Good evening from the 49th annual TravelNevada.com Reno National Championship Air Races presented to you by Breitling. I'm race announcer and airshow pilot Steve the Wild Thing Stavrakakis, here to give today's racing results. Again, we had another incredible day of racing. In the biplane silver final, we had Chris Slack in race 15 Heron winning at 187 miles per hour after a drag race to the first turn forced Casey Erickson to settle for second place in her bat plane at 180 miles per hour. Marilyn Dash in the Little Red Pit Special Ruby finished third at 178. In the Formula One Silver Final, we had Stephen Partridge Hicks in race number 40, Miss USA at 209 miles per hour, followed by David Roloffs in race 69, Naughty Girl at 204 miles per hour, and Tom Watkins in race 20, Pooter at 197 miles per hour. Pilot Jay Jones of the Quad Nickel Racers said, "The highlight of the day was all of the great amount of people and spectators that came down to their pits to visit them." In the sport class, after getting engine problems worked out, Jeff Lavelle got a sport class win and had a 30-second lead over the second place finisher. Our finishing results were Jeff Lavelle in race 39 Glass Air 2 at 382 miles per hour, over Lynn Farnsworth in race 44 Miss Karen 2 at 355 miles per hour, and then followed by Lee Beal in Sweet Dreams, the V8 powered racer at 354 miles per hour, with David Sterling and Kevin Eldridge taking up the last two spots. Our T6 Gold Heat had Nick Macy in 6 Cat winning at 243 miles per hour, followed by Dennis Buin in his Big Red T6, Midnight Miss 3 at 242 miles an hour, and John Lomar in the Radial Velocity at 239 miles per hour. In our jet heats, we started with Heat 3B, where Scott Krause in race 17 Predator came in at a whopping 405 miles per hour, followed by rookie Larry Labriola in race number 7 Sarance at 397 miles an hour, and race veteran Joe Gano in Sluggo at 379 miles per hour. In what will be tomorrow's gold race for the Jets, we had F4 Phantom pilot Rick Vandam flying American Spirit at 482 miles per hour, besting Phil Fogg in Fast Company at 465 miles per hour, and Jeff Turney flying another L-39 Albatross jet called Draken at 426 miles per hour. As always, the Unlimiteds never fail to impress everybody. In our bronze race, we had Rod Lewis flying his big, beautiful Tiger Cat, Here Kitty Kitty, at 343 miles per hour, taking the checkered flag over Dan Vance in the P-51 Mustang Lady Joe, who came in at 323 miles per hour, besting Grant Seghetti in the Jelly Belly Special P-51 Mustang Sparky at 323 miles per hour. In the silver race, we had astronaut and shuttle captain Kurt Brown flying race 71 Sawbones, the big Sea Fury, to a first place silver win at 402 miles per hour, followed by Will Whiteside in his little yak Steadfast at 384 miles per hour, and Corey Wells in the Sanders family race 114 Argonaut at 380 miles per hour. Today's gold race proved to be a barn burner, with four-time World Air Race champion Stephen Hinn taking Bill DeStefani's Strega to another win. First lap speeds were in excess of 500 miles per hour. Steve was followed closely by Stuart Dawson in the Rare Bear, the highly modified Bearcat, pushing another 500-mile-an-hour lap until cylinder head temps forced Stuart to back off. Once he did, teammate Robert Hoot Gibson, another Space Shuttle captain, took race number 232, September Fury, on to the second place finish, leaving Rare Bear in third.
Tomorrow, the Sunday race.
You got all year to
That could be a different situation, but once again, tomorrow we will decide on a power setting, but there might be a little option to push it up a little from that if I'm right on somebody.
In addition to some of the hottest competition on the track today, we also had some of the best air show flyers in the world, including legend Clay Lacey in his Learjet, Kent Peach in his Comedy Act, David Martin in the Cap 232, and Jim Pites in the Aerobatic Bonanza. And don't forget the FA-18 Super Hornet and the F-22 Raptor, perhaps the most incredible military jet to ever grace the skies. Don't miss your last chance to see them or any of the thrilling race finales tomorrow, right here at Stead Field. If you're not able to join us in person, stay tuned to this podcast and watch the races live at www.airrace.org. This is Steve the Wild Thing Stavrakakis signing off from the 49th annual TravelNevada.com Reno National Championship Air Races, once again presented to you by Breitling. And remember, fly low, fly fast, turn left.